Historical Figures by David Allen Kaiser and Sandra Beltran. This book is an invitation to explore our brain through mindscapes of famous minds with diverse experiences. From vibrant orange of childhood, through the blues to the optimal green of maturity, we unlock the secrets of mind and brain, story by story. Mindscape colors. Yellow brain areas are responsible for behaviors driven by instincts. Yellow areas reveal that primitive limbic impulses dominate a brain area, and this immaturity can hinder social development, self-appreciation, and nurture. Yellow areas lack cerebral matter, or at least often act like they do. Despite being immature, brain functions served by yellow areas can hold significance in some people as childhood curiosities develop into professional expertise. Blue areas indicate learning and mental effort. Instincts are diminished, and many brain networks are available, but information transfer can be slow. Green areas are adaptable and flexible. Mind, soul, and body thrive. Let's begin. Her steps are soft, barely audible against the creaking floorboards. Florence Nightingale carries a small oil lamp, which casts a gentle glow in the darkness. Soldiers laying in their beds, bandaged and weary, stir as they catch sight of her. She stops at each bedside, clasps a hand, and offers a compassionate squeeze, blue posterior cingulates. She listens to stories, hears fears. She checks bandages and voices her soothing care amid the chaos of war. Her gentle actions emerge from green and blue brain areas. She is a beacon of hope for many, an innovator for all. She improves how we present information visually, a direct predecessor to information graphics and mindscapes. Yellow Area 19. Her mindscape reflects dedication and commitment to healing. Some of her brain areas are very healthy and robust, while a few may need healing of their own. Yellow. Ada Lovelace sits surrounded by diagrams and notes detailing the analytical engine. As Charles Babbage explains intricate workings of the machine, her eyes light up with awe and comprehension. With each passing moment, she connects the dots, realizing the revolutionary nature of computation machines. The analytical engine can manipulate any type of symbol, musical notes, language, colors, not just numbers. The thinking machine, as she calls it, lets her imagination run wild. She is at the forefront of a technology and an information revolution, one which continues to this day. Ada and Babbage document insights in the sketch of the analytical engine, a cornerstone of computer science, securing her place in history as the world's first computer programmer. Charles Babbage obsesses about thinking machines. He invents two computation machines, a difference engine and an analytical engine, laying the groundwork for computers. All attempts to manufacture prototypes of his machines runs into technological hurdles, however. Parts are too big or inexact to do what he needs them to do. Order is key to Babbage. Only logical structure succeeds. His personality centers on precision and exactitude, Yellow 7 and 19. His mindscape reveals a world he shares with Ada Lovelace, but few others. Sacagawea hears voices conversing in Shoshone, her native tongue. Warm, welcoming sounds, right auditory. She has not seen her family since a young girl, since taken, and now she returns as a woman, with a son. Chief Camawake cannot believe his eyes. His sister has returned after many years. Tears of happiness and reunion follow. Sacagawea has led the Corps of Discovery, the Lewis and Clark expedition, to her lost family. As soon as I begin to write, my right hand begins to twitch, and I am compelled to make all sorts of grimaces with my face. Did Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart suffer from involuntary motor tics and possible Tourette's? He may lose momentary control of limbs when composing music, but genius needs obstacles. Limbic areas 6. A child prodigy, he displays remarkable talent at a very young age. Despite infantile cingulate behavior in adulthood, too certain of his perspective and ego, he manages social boundaries well enough to have many friends. Left area 6. Mozart passes away at age 35, unable to finish a haunting requiem mass, his music ending abrupt and divine. In a corner of the family garden, Jane Austen settles onto a stone bench, her writing materials tucked beneath her skirt. The rustling of leaves and chirping of birds provide a quiet background for her writing. "Who will we write about today?" she says aloud. When anyone approaches, she hides her papers. She is very private, and she is very observant of love, friendship, and family dynamics. She is charting out a path of possibilities in secret, a quest of satisfaction and self-realization. Anne Bonny grows more defiant every day. She frequents taverns and argues with everyone. She marries against her father's wishes and moves to the Bahamas. Her husband prepares to run a legitimate business in the Caribbean, but she craves adventure and crimson sunsets. She leaves him for a pirate and his crew raiding and plundering across the Caribbean. 2 or 3 lawless years pass. She is pregnant when the British Navy captures their ship, the William Kidd, and everyone on board. They are tried for piracy in Jamaica and hanged. All except Anne, who escapes the gallows by carrying an unborn child. And she escapes recorded history at this point. Her mindscape may disclose more about her fate and future. Michelangelo is considered odd by many. He rarely bathes and sleeps in his boots. He is a loner, short-tempered, rude and vain, walking away in the middle of conversation. Is Michelangelo on the spectrum? A typical brain is bored by repetition, preferring novelty and meaning. An atypical brain may enjoy flowing sand and spinning images, and be entranced by shape and color, yellow occipital regions. Michelangelo complains of being beaten and bullied by his father. The left auditory cortex, where we assign meaning to syllables, is very sensitive to insults and cruelty, and regresses after verbal and physical abuse, yellow auditory cortex. Michelangelo channels his instincts into passion, focus to detail. He chips away and removes the superfluous until all that remains is art. Leonardo da Vinci has difficulty paying attention. His patrons complain that he cannot meet deadlines. His curiosity wanders. When he steals time away from paid work, he designs war machines and flying machines, Area 7 and 19. Da Vinci speaks from his right brain and perceives from his left brain. He is a mirror in many ways. He loves mirror writing and sees faces in clouds, fruit baskets, tree bark, nearly anything complex, a condition called pareidolia, usually due to face recognition systems working too hard and too often, Area 37. Joan of Arc hears church bells. The bells sound with every heartbeat. As they continue to sound, she feels a presence growing nearby, a holy saint or angel, and hears them speak. Joan may suffer from temporal lobe epilepsy, the sacred disease, which lets in more heaven than world, blue left temporal lobe. She is humble and emboldened. Her military prowess and leadership are essential for success, Area 6. Her passion turns the tide of the war and the English are driven back. Eventually captured, she endures a 3-month trial where she defends herself and her divine mission against charges of witchcraft and heresy. Queen Cleopatra is goddess Isis, according to her people, a god of magic, wisdom, and healing. Her self-regard is infantile, Orange Area 38. She is the first Ptolemaic pharaoh to speak Egyptian. Her Broca area and auditory cortices are developed blue. Her social boundaries are a paradox of maturity and instinct, allowing her to survive amid shifting sands of Mediterranean politics, BA6 and BA47 limbic. Once Julius Caesar is assassinated, she flees back to Egypt and spirals into depravity with her next lover, nightly wine feasts and drug binges. When we fail to nurture ourselves, we indulge ourselves. Self-nurture is nearly absent in her mindscape, very immature posterior cingulates where we set our tone of behavior. Her mindscape illustrates someone who believes in her divine status more than human politics. A full moon hangs in the sky, casting a soft glow in the night. The air smells damp. Julius Caesar sits on horseback, studying the land. He is a strategist with mature dorsolateral cortex and temporal poles. He is also looking for a sign. Surely Mars and Jove will aid his decision to cross the Rubicon or not. Should he continue? Julius Caesar is exciting to be around. A man of charisma, magnetic and captivating, mature cingulates. With his army, he crosses the river and tastes life in a new way. He reads intentions in faces quite well, Area 32, and every opportunity goes his way until his last day. His mindscape shows a man who manages risk and thinks before he acts.